of Roll with the Fox. So, guys, we got asked on the app, and we're gonna spend more time on the app on this as well. The Roberto Jimenez and Mica Galvao armbar. Basically, what an amazing match. By the way, this is very similar to my game. So I'm going to make a couple points. One, what an amazing match, and I got to hand it to Roberto that he sucked it up, and kind of, I'm sure he took some damage. That he actually stayed in this long. We're going to try to duplicate this, but I can tell you, Sean is not. You're not the most flexible person, but you're also pretty flexible, and pretty much I could shut him down at any point of that armbar. By the way, this is what you're trying to do at the highest level, okay? When you look at it, you see Roberto making massive movements, while Mica basically stays on the arm the whole time, making slight adjustments. That's one. Two, it shows you this is split guard. If this was clamp guard attack, I believe Mica would have lost that attack from the very beginning. This is very important. So, again, guys, I'm not sort of trying to be a sort of, what is that, Monday quarterback, whatever they call it. I actually like both of these guys. I consider some of the best jiu-jitsu guys out there. And why do I do that? First of all, they mettle gi, no-gi, in all different rule set. But also, I like their game. They're very mobile, they're willing to take risks. For example, in Pans, if you look at Roberto, I forget who did he go against? Maybe Wardziak? Adam Wardziak. I mean, he might have lost, but another amazing match. So. This guy is exciting to watch, and it was great that these guys made it into the final. So let's break this down and kind of, by the way, I may have to lighten up on things because it gets so tight, and you know that the guy took damage. It's not just the damage. When you twist through these escapes, you're basically trying to trade your elbow for your shoulder, and guess what happens when you're trading those two things? They both take a damage. You know what's distracting me? Can anybody take a guess? That phone over there. See, guys, so let's look at it. So, guys, it started from seated guard, right? So what Mica did is he hooked the urigatame. You know what? Let's do it this way. Let's do this angle. So he hooked urigatame and brought this up and started to apply pressure. Roberto kicked it out. So what happened is, as he's trying to kind of keep the tension, as Roberto kicked out his leg, it went under. Guys, your instep can serve as a very good pushing off point. There is no estimalock risk because you're controlling his posture through that urigatame grip. Now, as Roberto, by the way, as Roberto started to drop, Mica went for the inverted armbar. Okay, and again, this is on all. Mica was arching. That's a tap already, but Roberto's sort of helicoptered over, and this is where things start to get a little dicey. There's still an armbar. I can shut him down, but again, if Sean is willing to take a break, then he keeps going. So now, again, there was another possibility of an armbar here. By the way, we're going to come back to it on the app. There's a back take here. You have to make a judgment call. I probably would have done what Mica did because it was moving so fast that if I tried to do a back take, it just dramatically changes the attack, and either you completely lose it or you completely win it. But again, there is a break here, and we call this the dead frog in my school. There's a couple of guys that are really good at this defense. What he's trying to do is turn his thumb this way. And this is a possible escape. So when your legs wind up here, what I'm threatening is a triangle. But Roberto knew that the triangle risk, as Mica is trying to, he put. But this is by the way. Let's go back. So as he's doing this, right? So as he's threatening a triangle, Mica gripped with his left hand. This is where the mistake happened. If Mica did not grip with his left arm, Roberto would have been able to get away. So what he did as this transition was happening, so he's trying to threaten a triangle, he starts to bring his left arm into play, and now this is a very strong break. Even though Roberto was trying to create an angle. By the way, this sequence is extremely difficult to recreate because there's so many subtleties that you need to stay on that. But again, this is so good because of the following. And Mica is amazing. His jiu-jitsu is amazing because he makes guys make massive movements while he makes slight adjustments, just basically angling. Very, very little almost at the end where, and Roberto, I think, felt that he was going to be able to pull out. I don't know if he felt that arm, the left arm, coming over, because that is what prevented him from pulling out clean. If the left arm was not involved, he would have pulled out clean. And I believe at that point in time, he probably would have been better off staying down. The question is, well, you know, Mica then has to kind of possibly get back to his knees. But again, any movement, when you're in trouble, movement is your friend. Usually if you know, tight things are your enemy, because as things tighten up, you want to create movement that creates your opportunities to escape. But what an amazing match on Flow Grappling. You know, you can probably see the sequence on Flow Grappling Instagram. You can see the sequence on Flow Grappling Facebook or a few other places. It was, man, very exciting. Guys, what questions do we have? We're going to start, you know, we're going to take it further on the app, like where we're going to break down that back take from that. You know, I don't use Choi bar, but like sometimes people put me into Choi bar position because I believe it's easier to escape than keeping my foot on the hip. But there's a back take as well, but it can potentially put their arm and your knee at risk. So you have to be really careful. So we're going to take that up on the app. Guys, by the way, if you're thinking about going to Florence, which is a city in Tuscany region of Italy, that is July 30th to August 3rd. Don't forget to reach out to Aliyah at silverfoxbjj.com before the end of May, because I believe there will be spots opening. Every year we do the Italian camp. It fills up, but mid-May, end of May, it's half full, and that's what we have right now. The problem is that at some point we'll not be able to get you on the excursions. So if you come in to train jiu-jitsu, you can come visit me in New Jersey and train jiu-jitsu with me and my school. But if you're coming to Italy and Florence, you want to see the sights, you want to taste the wine, you want to enjoy each other's company. So again, reach out to Aliyah, no age.
No age. We have a lot of good mornings. We had a lot of excitement about the fact that you're actually going over this armbar. It's a lot of people wanted to get the breakdown. We are running quickly out of time, but yeah, that flew by.
Guys, by the way, I love this. This is, I'm in this similar sequence literally 30 to 50 times a week. And there's so many subtleties that you need to pursue that and learn the subtleties, because if you learn the subtleties, you can keep the guy on the run until he taps with slight movements versus big movements, which he has to make. Anyways.
Regarding that helicopter escape, what is it that, I guess, prevented him from being able to retract it? And then we have one more from Ensberg.
Ensberg, you're on the app, right? Let's take it up on the app. What is the question Ensberg has?
Ensberg's question.
I'm pretty sure he's on the app too.
Yes. One aspect of the entry that differs from yours typically is how he seemed to put the near side foot on the armpit at times. Yes. Is that something that you ever do.
Yeah, absolutely. You need to develop sort of the sensitivities, but we'll go over greater details. But you need to develop sensitivities to keep constant pressure on the arm. I actually do it quite a bit. Let's turn this way. So with split guard, so a lot of times when I have, this I do. This one also sometimes when you enter. So he entered from this position a little bit, but sometimes when you enter where the guy puts you on your side, I can still do it from here, is use my instep, whether it's on his shin or whether it's on his torso, as a way to get me. So here, right now, I cannot put my foot on the hip. It's gonna slip. So I can put it, you need that tension. If I go to clamp guard where now I'm just clamping down, that tension dramatically decreases. It's still a dangerous position for him, but that tension dramatically decreases. The other question was the helicopter escape. So I think this should, So let's just do the whole entry, so make sure. So again, guys, one of the important things, keep it. Yeah. If the arm is here, you cannot enter. So you need to get your shoulder. The problem with that is, so if you kind of hold, I'm in, right? My shoulder needs to get on the inside. So Mica didn't pop it. It was just out, right? But if his elbow is inside, then I have other opportunities. I have to, I'm going to bring him inside. But that is also very important, especially standing. So a lot of times, if I can't take the guy down in about 30 seconds, maybe maximum 1 minute, I will pull the Urigatame guard pull. I know it's on the YouTube and the app as well. And this is very, very, very effective. You need to get your shoulder inside, but let's talk about so here. So he's inside. He kicked it out. So now he went. So go ahead, helicopter over. So you need to know how to pressure that arm. So seemingly Sean can pull out. He cannot. So there is still, so it's not enough for him to break the arm, but enough for him to continue moving, not get comfortable in there, because, let's do it again. Let's see if we can change the angle a little bit. It's enough danger that he needs to keep moving through it. And sometimes that's all you need. Yeah, if you stay there, I'm going to finish it. So armbarring is such a vast area of jiu-jitsu. By the way, I'm very good at them. It's like any position, upside down, razor, straight, modified, or whatever you want to call it. You need to develop the subtleties of armbarring, and basically you focus on 4 things: angle, grip, could be this, allows you quick adjustments, could be this, which is kind of firm and allows you to put your hips into it, and the armpit grip, which is extremely strong. So angle, grip, fulcrum. People tend to think fulcrum is your hips. No, with armbarring could be your hips a lot of times, but inside inner thigh, that is very, very common fulcrum. And then follow-ups. So when you start to focus on those 4 things, your armbarring is going to get really good. I'm going to finish with this armbar, you on the bottom side control. So a lot of times, guys, I teach this armbar, let's do it this way, to my students, right? Where I isolate the arm, and I finish from here. This is not a super practical armbar, but it teaches me about angle. This is a very oddball angle, but I know by playing with this that his arm is about to break. Fulcrum. The fulcrum is my inner thigh. I've armbarred people where my shin or my stomach was the fulcrum. Angle, look at the angle. It's very oddball. Fulcrum, my inner thigh. Now, grip, armpit grip. Armpit grip is extremely strong. Yeah. And follow up. Should he actually come up? It's pretty easy for me to triangle him. So, although this is something I would not probably attempt in a competition unless it was like 30 seconds, 45 seconds, minute left, and I'm down on points. But this is an armbar that I do teach fairly frequently because it really gives you a different perspective on armbars. And I encourage you guys to develop better armbars.
We have one last question. We'll pick it up on the app.
On the app, okay.
Yeah.
What's the question?
Regarding the patty versus green, guillotine to triangle scenario.
Oh, okay. I have to look. I didn't see the. Yeah, let's go to the app. Let me look at it real quick.